morning, I'm Agustín Zepeda for NewZtar Intelligence. Here is your global briefing for Friday, June 12, 2026. SpaceX began trading Friday on the Nasdaq in what's being called the largest IPO in history, valued at $75 billion. Shares jumped between 11 and 21% in their debut, pushing Elon Musk's net worth past $1 trillion for the first time. The company's market capitalization reached $2 trillion according to some reports. But here is where the coverage diverges. American financial media frames this as a triumphant market event, while European outlets express skepticism about the valuation, with one calling it absurd. Asian media uniquely highlights SpaceX faces regional expansion challenges in their markets. President Trump announced he's canceling planned military strikes against Iran, claiming a deal is near completion. Iranian officials publicly dispute the terms Trump describes, and new drone incidents continue to fuel uncertainty. Meanwhile, global oil reserves are being drawn down, creating economic pressure for resolution. But here is where the coverage diverges. American media emphasizes de-escalation as positive, while Middle Eastern outlets report Israeli forces issued evacuation orders for Tehran, directly contradicting the cancellation narrative. European outlets focus on structural instability and describe the situation as dangerous limbo. An active shooter situation in Midland, Texas has left at least one person dead and 11 victims wounded. The gunman is barricaded, and the incident remains ongoing as of this hour. This marks the latest mass casualty event in Texas this year. But here is where the coverage diverges. American media provides extensive ongoing coverage with victim counts and law enforcement updates, while international outlets give minimal attention. Russian and Chinese state media do not mention the incident at all in their Friday briefings. Two separate detention cases are sparking diplomatic alarm. China has detained an American citizen on unspecified charges, while Myanmar authorities are holding another U.S. national. The State Department says it's working through diplomatic channels for consular access in both cases. But here is where the coverage diverges. American media frames these as arbitrary detentions requiring urgent diplomatic intervention, while Chinese state media does not acknowledge the detention at all. European outlets note this fits a pattern of hostage diplomacy by authoritarian states. The Swiss National Bank cut interest rates by 50 basis points to 0.5%, the most aggressive move among major central banks this cycle. The decision comes amid European manufacturing weakness and signals growing concern about recession risks. This marks a divergence from Federal Reserve policy, which has held rates steady. But here is where the coverage diverges. American financial media frames this as a European problem contained to that region, while European outlets express alarm about spreading manufacturing weakness. Chinese state media highlights this validates their own monetary easing policies. The Trump administration announced it's doubling tariffs on steel and aluminum imports to 50%, dramatically escalating trade tensions. The move targets multiple countries and takes effect within 30 days. Industry groups warn this will raise construction costs and manufacturing input prices across the economy. But here is where the coverage diverges. American media splits along partisan lines, with conservative outlets supporting protectionism and liberal outlets warning of inflation. Chinese state media calls this proof of American economic aggression, while European outlets express concern about global trade system breakdown. That is your NewZtar Intelligence briefing for Friday, June 12, 2026. News in every angle, every morning. I'm Agustín Zepeda. Stay informed.